All right, ready to dive in. Today, we're tackling dental instrument assemblers.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, and it's more than just, putting together toothbrushes. We're talking lasers, drills,
Oh,
yeah, high-tech stuff.
wow.
It's like picture a cross between a mechanic and a jeweler. That level of detail.
That makes sense. Those instruments are vital for dentists. I mean, they use them for everything.
Absolutely. From routine cleanings to, like you said, those complex surgeries, it's all about the instruments.
Right.
So I've got the career guide and interview guide right here, ready to unpack them.
Okay.
And of course, we've got to sprinkle in some RoleCatcher magic for that extra edge.
Love it. Let's do it. Where do we start?
Well, let's jump right into the interview guide, shall we?
Yeah, let's.
The first question always throws a bit of a curveball, at least for me. It's like, tell us about your experience working in a dental office or laboratory. I don't know about you, but I haven't clocked in much time in a dental lab. Have you?
Not exactly. But that's where we talk about transferable skills, right?
Exactly. So even if our listener hasn't worked in dentistry specifically,
Yeah.
think about those roles where detail was key.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever assembled electronics?
Oh, yeah. Or worked with, like, tiny, intricate parts.
Yes. Even something like model building.
Definitely.
Those skills translate perfectly because it's that same precision, that focus.
Totally.
So instead of saying, I've never worked in a dental office, which can sound a bit limiting,
Yeah.
you could say, in my previous role at previous company, I was responsible for tasks which required extreme precision and focus. And I thrived in that environment.
Exactly. Connect those dots.
And you know what else you can do to really stand out?
What's that?
Ask about their specific work environment. Show that initiative, that curiosity.
Show them you're interested.
Yes. And speaking of putting your best foot forward,
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI Resume Builder. Have you checked this
Oh,
out?
yeah, it's a game changer.
It analyzes the job description, highlights your most relevant skills.
It's like having a personal brand strategist for your resume.
Exactly. No more guessing what they want to see. Okay, ready for the next question.
Hit me.
How do you ensure the quality of your work when assembling dental instruments?
Okay.
This is where that meticulousness we were talking about really comes in.
Totally. You've got to showcase that you're a bit of a perfectionist.
A bit. I think this calls for full-on perfectionism.
You're right. Talk about double-checking alignments, referencing those assembly drawings.
Oh, and understanding tolerances.
Yes, all those little things that show you're all about that top-notch work.
And it's not enough to just say, I'm a perfectionist.
Nope. Got to back it up.
You need concrete examples.
Oh.
In my previous role, I developed a system for quality control process to ensure every product met the highest standards. Something like that.
Perfect. And don't be afraid to get specific, like the guide mentions tolerances.
Right.
Think back to a time when you dealt with super precise measurements.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Maybe calibrating equipment, or even something like baking, where those measurements matter.
That's a good one. It shows you get it,
Yeah,
the importance of those details.
exactly.
You know what else I bet would be super helpful for this kind of question?
What's that?
RoleCatcher's AI interview practice.
Oh, yeah.
You can practice these exact questions and get feedback on your delivery.
It's like having a coach right in your pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
All right, let's see. What is your experience working with dental handpieces?
Dental handpieces, huh?
Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear handpiece, I think power drill.
Yeah. Not your average tools.
Exactly. So honesty is key. But even if you haven't worked with these specific handpieces,
Right.
you can still showcase relevant experience.
Like what?
Have you worked with small, delicate tools?
Yeah.
Anything requiring, like, really fine motor skills?
Oh, I see. Or maybe machinery maintenance, keeping things running smoothly?
Yes. Highlight those experiences.
Good point.
And don't be afraid to say, hey, my experience is primarily with your experience, but I'm eager to learn, and I'm a fast learner, excited to develop expertise in dental handpieces specifically.
Definitely. Shows you're ready to jump in.
Exactly. Which, by the way, is huge in this field because dental technology, always evolving.
Oh, for sure.
In fact, the career guide mentioned something about that, right?
Yeah.
Like the employment outlook for dental instrument assemblers,
Oh, yeah. Very positive.
because the industry's booming.
Booming. They need skilled assemblers.
And that 6% projected growth rate over the next 10 years, that's no joke.
No joke at all.
So this isn't just a job, folks. This is a career path.
Ah.
All right, ready for our next interview brain teaser.
Bring it on. All right, next up. Can you describe a time you had to troubleshoot a problem with a dental instrument?
Oh boy, here we go.
Now, don't panic if you haven't actually held a dental instrument before.
Right.
They want to hear about your problem-solving skills, not your dental expertise, at least not yet. It's like that old saying, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to troubleshoot a dental drill.
Okay, maybe not that exact saying.
You get the idea.
I do. So it's about the process.
Exactly. Think back to any time you had to troubleshoot something. Could be anything. A printer jam, maybe?
Oh, those are the worst.
Or a software glitch?
Oh, or how about this? Figuring out why your grandma's internet isn't working.
Perfect example. What were the steps you took? Did you isolate the problem, try different solutions, check the manual?
It's that whole think on your feet thing.
Yes, show them you can be cool under pressure. And speaking of pressure...
Oh, I know where you're going with this. RoleCatcher's AI interview practice.
You got it. Practicing these scenarios out loud, game changer for staying calm in the hot seat.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's next?
Let's see. How do you ensure you're up to date with the latest advances in dental instrument technology?
Oh, this is where we get to geek out a little.
For sure. This is your chance to show that you're genuinely interested, that you're not just there for a paycheck. Yeah. Mention any blogs, publications, webinars you follow. Have you taken any courses on specific technology? Anything that screams, I'm a lifelong learner.
I love it. Imagine dropping some knowledge about the latest in laser dentistry or like 3D printing dental implants.
Right. It says, I don't just assemble these tools, I'm fascinated by them.
Exactly. And imagine this, you walk into that interview.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Not only do you have that knowledge, but your resume is a perfect match.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. RoleCatcher's AI Resume Builder.
Nailed it. It aligns your experience with the job description. No more stressing over every word.
Love it. Okay, what's next? On to the next question.
All right, let's see. This one's about organization. How do you prioritize your workload when assembling dental instruments? They're definitely looking for someone who can handle the heat.
Oh, for sure. Time management is essential, but especially here where precision and efficiency are paramount.
Absolutely. So how do you even answer that? Do you just say, oh, I'm a to-do list ninja? Well, lists are great, but try to pull from a real experience. Describe a time you juggled a super demanding workload.
Oh, I see.
Maybe you used a specific technique or a prioritization method. Highlight that process and how it led to success.
Got it. Now that's how you stand out. Okay, this next one is a classic. Can you tell us about a time you had to work under pressure to meet a deadline?
Yes, haven't we all?
I've had a few of those moments, that's for sure.
The key here is to not just describe the stress, right?
Right.
It's about showcasing how you thrived.
Yes.
Did you break the task down into smaller chunks? Communicate like a pro with your team? Did you stay calm and focused? Those are the actions they want to hear about, along with, of course, the positive outcome.
Right, because nobody wants to hear about the project you totally bombed, even if you learned a lot from it.
Exactly. And if you can quantify that success, even better. Like, by doing your strategy, I delivered the project ahead of schedule, which resulted in positive outcome.
Ooh, I like that. Solid, measurable results.
Yeah.
Speaking of results,
Right.
before we move on, have to give a shout out to RoleCatcher's Salary Insight.
Oh, yes. So important.
Knowing the salary range for your area and experience. Talk about an edge during negotiations.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, as they say.
100%. Okay, back to the questions. Let's see. How do you ensure you are working in a safe manner when assembling dental instruments? Safety first, always.
Absolutely. This shows them you're committed to a safe environment for yourself and everyone around you.
Right, you don't want to be known as that person who's always causing accidents.
Exactly. Talk about your understanding of safety protocols, how you spot potential hazards, and your approach to, not causing chaos.
So things like handling sharp instruments carefully, using your PPE, and following those proper disposal procedures for any hazardous materials.
All of that. And if you've had specific safety training or certifications, definitely mention those.
Definitely. All right, teamwork time. Can you tell us about a time when you had to work collaboratively with others to complete a project? I'm sensing a theme here.
Oh, me too.
They want to know you're not just a skilled assembler, you're also a team player.
Makes sense. This is your time to shine as a collaborator. Think of a successful team project and really break down your role. How did you communicate? What challenges did you overcome together?
It's not about taking all the credit. It's about showing you can be a valuable part of a team.
Exactly. And speaking of valuable contributions, can we just give a quick nod to RoleCatcher? They've been quietly killing it this entire time.
I know, right? From crafting the resume to practicing interview answers, it's like having a whole career support squad in your back pocket.
Right. Okay, one final question. How do you approach the task of training new team members in dental instrument assembly?
It's about sharing your knowledge and, maybe a little bit of leadership sprinkled in.
So, are we talking like super detailed manuals, hands-on demonstrations, or maybe like a secret handshake for perfectly aligned dental lasers? Haha, maybe not the secret handshake, but you're on the right track. Think about a time you trained someone. Did you give them clear instructions? Offer support? What about feedback? Did you give them constructive feedback? Those are the things they want to hear.
Don't forget those positive outcomes. Maybe the person you trained became an assembling rock star because of your amazing guidance.
Exactly. It's a nice way to show your impact,
I like it. Subtle but effective. Okay, before we wrap up, I got to ask about something from the career guide. They mention repetitive tasks. How do you keep things interesting when you're working with this level of precision every single day? Asking for a friend.
Great question. And honestly, they might ask you that in the interview. It's about showing that you're self-motivated, that you find those intrinsic rewards. Maybe you love perfecting a process, or you take pride in that level of precision, or hey, maybe you use that time for like mental problem solving related to the work.
It's like finding Zen in a world of dental drills. Who knew?
Right. And that's what we want you to take away from this deep dive. Not just the technical stuff, but that confidence to really show them who you are, your skill, and your personality, the whole package.
Absolutely. We covered a ton today. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about everything from what a dental instrument assembler actually does to, like, conquering those tough interview questions.
Don't forget our secret weapon.
Oh, yeah, RoleCatcher. Seriously, their AI tools are amazing.
They can make a huge difference, tailoring your resume, practicing your answers, even understanding salary expectations.
It's like having your own career coach, cheerleader, and resume guru all in one.
Exactly. So go into that interview with confidence, show them your passion, show them your precision, and don't forget to have a little fun along the way.
You've got this. We're cheering you on every step of the way. Until next time, happy assembling.